Ever felt trapped in a conversation where someone just won't stop talking and you're quietly planning your escape route? Or worse, you were the one talking and walked away thinking, why did I just tell them about my childhood, my bank balance, and my ex's foot fungus? We've all been there, blurted too much, shared too soon, told the wrong person the very right thing. Then comes the oversharer's hangover, that sinking dread of, wait, did I just overshare again? This video isn't about being fake or bottling things up until you explode in a group chat. It's about knowing when, how, and with whom to share, so you don't end up needing a witness protection program. Let's unpack why we overshare when it becomes a problem and how to build deeper connections without emotionally streaking through the conversation. What is oversharing? Oversharing isn't just telling a story longer than needed. It's revealing too much too soon to the wrong person or in the wrong context. Sometimes it sounds like trauma dumping on someone you barely know, revealing your entire dating history in the first 5 minutes, turning every small talk moment into a TED Talk about your childhood. It's often well-intentioned. We want to connect, be honest, or feel seen, but it can come off as self-centered, boundary blind, or emotionally messy, especially in professional or casual settings. Why do we overshare? 1. We mistake vulnerability for closeness. Social media and therapy culture have popularized being vulnerable. And that's great, but timing matters. Being vulnerable isn't dumping your deepest fears on a first date. That's called bypassing intimacy, not building it. 2. We want immediate relief. You're feeling overwhelmed, and talking feels like a release valve. The listener becomes a live journal. But when we offload just to feel better, we often miss the impact it has on the other person. 3. We confuse attention with connection. Oversharing can draw reactions, sympathy, surprise, applause. But it doesn't always build real trust. In fact, it can repel the very closeness we're trying to create. 4. We grew up without healthy boundaries. Maybe you were taught to be an open book, or rewarded for being real at all cost, or never taught the difference between honesty and oversharing. Boundaries aren't secrecy. They're protection for both you and the listener. What are the risks of oversharing? Oversharing isn't just awkward, it can backfire. You might reveal personal details that put you or your loved ones at risk. People may start to question your discretion. In a workplace, it can make you seem unprofessional. You could unintentionally burden others with emotions they didn't ask to carry. And ironically, oversharing can make you feel more isolated, not less. Because true connection isn't built on how much you reveal. It's built on how much respect exists in the space between you and someone else. So, how do we share without oversharing? Number 1, match the depth. Before sharing, ask yourself, is this something we've earned the right to talk about together? Match the intimacy level. If someone says they slept badly, don't follow up with your childhood trauma or your divorce, even if they were the reason you lost sleep. That's a leap, not a bridge. Sure, those stories might be real, but they're out of proportion to the moment. What started as a relatable gripe can turn into a therapy session no one signed up for. Instead, try responses that stay on the same wavelength. Ugh, I had a night like that last week. What finally helped you drift off? That sounds rough. Are you on a big deadline? Sounds like your brain didn't get the memo to clock out. Matching depth builds trust. Jumping ahead can break it. So start small. Share in the same emotional tone. If the space feels safe, you'll both naturally go deeper together. Number 2, pause before you speak. Before you share something big, awkward, or vulnerable, pause just for a beat. Ask yourself, what do I hope to get from sharing this? Will this support connection or confuse it? We often overshare because we want to feel closer, seen, or understood. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you may not like what you get. Let's say you're meeting a new colleague over coffee, and you've both been joking about how hectic work's been. You're tempted to say, yeah, honestly, I had a mini breakdown last week, cried in the office pantry for 20 minutes. Pause. Now ask, are you trying to be funny? Are you seeking emotional support? Or are you trying to signal vulnerability? If you say it with the right tone and context and the relationship feels safe, it might actually deepen trust. I had a rough week last week too. Pantry tears and all. It's been intense. That's real, but contained. It invites connection without unloading too much. Let's look at a counterexample. Now imagine a networking event, first time meeting someone, and they casually ask how work's going. You respond with, not great. My boss is micromanaging me to death. My team ignores me, and I think I'm about to quit. Whoa, that's not a pause. That's a cannonball into deep water, without checking if the pool has water. The listener is likely thinking, are we close enough for this? Do I need to give advice now? How do I get out of this conversation politely? Oversharing in the wrong context creates confusion. It shifts the tone too fast, too soon. You might leave feeling exposed, and they might leave feeling overwhelmed. The fix. Practice the pause. Before you share, try a 3-second scan. Am I venting or connecting? Is this the right time in person? Will I regret saying this tomorrow? Even pausing to say, that's kind of a long story, but the short version is, lets you keep things light and grounded. You can always share more later, but once something's said, it can't be unsaid. So pause, not to censor yourself, but to steer your story with purpose. Number 3, practice slow vulnerability. Real closeness is built layer by layer, not all at once. Think of it like peeling an onion, not launching a confetti cannon of trauma. Vulnerability is powerful, but when rushed, it can overwhelm or confuse the person you're trying to connect with. Imagine this. You're at lunch with a new colleague you admire. The conversation shifts from weekend plans to personal challenges. They say, yeah, I've had some weird sleep lately. Can't seem to switch off. And you immediately respond, oh man, same here. I think it's the unresolved anxiety from my divorce last year. I'm still processing all the guilt. It really messes with your head. You've just skipped several trust-building steps. Even if you're being honest, it loads the conversation with emotional weight the other person didn't sign up for. Now the vibe is weird, and you're both unsure how to continue. A slower, steadier response might sound like, yeah, I've been having trouble winding down too. There's a bit going on lately. I might talk about it more once I figure it out myself. Or, I know that feeling. I've been thinking about some stuff lately, still sorting through it. You're still being open but not dumping. You've signaled there's more beneath the surface, without making it someone else's responsibility to dig it up. This kind of slow vulnerability invites curiosity, not discomfort. If trust grows, the conversation will naturally go deeper at the right time. Think of vulnerability like a staircase. Each step opens the door a little more. If the other person responds warmly, take another step. But jumping to the top floor before they've even entered the building, that's not connection. That's disorientation. So next time you're about to share something personal, try asking yourself, is this the right floor for where we are in this relationship? Sharing takes courage, Yes, but pacing, that's how real trust is built. 4. Know your audience. Your therapist, your friend, and your boss are 3 very different people. The story may be the same, but how you tell it makes all the difference. Think of it like dressing for the occasion. Same person underneath, just adjusted for the setting. Here's an example. The situation. You've been feeling overwhelmed lately, and last night you overate and cried. Classic. To your therapist, be detailed and honest. Last night I stress ate 3 muffins and ended up crying in the shower, listening to Coldplay. I think I'm using food and noise to distract from a deeper feeling of being stuck, but I can't quite name what yet. Translation: this is the place for full access. The more honest you are, the more useful the space becomes. To your friend, be casual and relatable. I just inhaled 3 muffins and cried in the shower to Coldplay. Please tell me I'm not the only one falling apart in dramatic cinematic fashion. Translation: you're not asking them to fix it. You're inviting connection, maybe a laugh, maybe some support. To your boss, be professional and focused. I've had a bit on my plate recently and noticed it starting to affect my energy. I'm managing it, but I may need to tweak my schedule slightly this week. To stay effective, I'll make sure everything's delivered on time. Translation: you're still reliable. You're self-aware. You're not dumping. You're managing. The point? The core truth can stay the same, but the delivery should respect the setting and the listener's role. Oversharing isn't just about how much you say. It's about saying the right thing to the right person at the right time. Just like you wouldn't show up to a board meeting in pajamas, don't emotionally strip down in the wrong room. Know your audience. Tailor your tone. Still be you, just the version that fits the moment. Oversharing is a habit you can outgrow. And no, you don't have to swing to the other extreme. You don't need to be cold, closed off, or robotic. You can still be open, still be honest, just considered. You do so by matching the depth, pausing before speaking, practicing slow vulnerability, and knowing your audience. Because when you protect your story, you create space for real connection. And when you speak with clarity, not desperation, people listen differently. So next time you feel the urge to overshare, pause for 3 seconds. Not to censor yourself, but to choose yourself. And that's something school never teach. If this video helped, like and subscribe for more life skills that school never teach.